For 20 years now, Ann Mcreath has fought to keep a fashion house as a true image of the African-inspired contemporary clothing. She now speaks to us about what it takes to keep a Kenyan brand visible on the global stage. Here's more.
Ann Mcreath departed Scotland for Kenya to head an NGO firm. However, her new position was not giving her a sense of satisfaction. Having worked in the fashion industry in Milan, Italy, Ann quit her aid work and gathered her skills to start a contemporary fashion line with an African twist.
I started Kiko Romeo in '96, so this is our 20th year in business. And what motivated me to start was that I had very high level of couture training from Italy in fashion. I actually came here with aid work, and I was a bit frustrated by aid work because I felt development needed to come from business. And I saw a lot of people doing beautiful handicrafts, but they weren't being done into modern products. So it was motivated really from that idea of trade, not aid. And then also because I saw Kenyans didn't really have a sense of pride in things made in the country.
Eager to see Kenyans take pride in locally made products, Ann set up the fashion line, which she says has helped grow local fashion industry by leaps and bounds.
Kenyan-fashion has come a very long way from when I started. I mean, when I started, we didn't have fashion magazines. Of course, there was no social media. You know, it really has come a long way. And we do see many more Kenyans wearing locally made products. But I still think it's a far cry from where we really should be. I have a great deal of hope right now because a lot of the people who are in government, including the president, people who are business leaders, a lot of their children want to be designers, whether fashion designers, graphic designers, product designers, it doesn't matter. But basically creative arts is something that's being discussed at home. Mummy, daddy, I want to be a designer.
Kiko Romeo offers clothing designs styled in modern cuts and eye-catching details with a goal of appealing to the global market.
I aim to take Kiko Romeo global. I wanted to franchise internationally. For me, Kiko Romeo and fashion is a barometer of a country's development. Like when you take fashion into the world, people can't imagine you have a developed fashion industry if you're living in mud houses, for example. So fashion leads lifestyle. Fashion means we live in good houses, we have a modern, sophisticated style of living. Fashion is premium, and that's what it represents.
According to Ann, the fashion industry is not growing as fast as other sectors of the Kenyan economy.
We need to realize the potential in marketing our country in general with fashion and creative arts. I think the potential is massive. One of the things that holds us back is, for example, having the right PR backup in the fashion capitals, London, New York, where all the international fashion media are. These are things that, you know, when a celebrity is about to do a red carpet, they phone up a PR company, have you got anything African for our star to wear tonight? And these are areas where Kenya falls behind, often because most Kenyans want to live in Kenya. They don't want to live in London and New York.
The industry further faces two main hurdles: the second-hand clothes and cheap imports from China and Turkey. But the government has not helped improve the situation.
The lead thing is in supporting shows and relevant trade exhibitions outside of the country. If I compare to South African fashion, which has had a lot of support from the government, they have a fashion council which now raises money for fashion events and to promote, to move designers around to the relevant markets. And they link it into the craft sector as well as the manufacturing sector. So Kenya has a lot of opportunity to do something similar and make sure that they get information from the industry.
Local fashion houses like Kiko Romeo are also facing the challenge of protecting their designs.
Right now the situation is a lot of people may like the product, they can't find it, so they may take a photograph to the local fundi, make it. That creates business for the fundi, but it may or may not come out looking like they want it to look. And that is a struggle for designers because it means all the time and effort invested in the product development is not being maximized in the production. So you spend continuously on product development, and then the other people who are copying are not spending on product development, they're just rolling it out.
However, Ann sees an opportunity in digital marketing by leveraging on the growth of smartphone penetration.
As I look at fashion companies, including my own, most of us are not on point on digital. We may have the intention there, but we need to invest in our photo shoots, in our websites, and all of the above. And then how we take that to market through social media. And that's another area that, of course, support from government can be very helpful.
Kiko Romeo prides itself in having dressed Kenyan Hollywood actress Lupita Nyong'o and various stars of Coke Studio Africa. Despite the fashion house having approval in the East African market, Ann points out the need for entrepreneurs to have sound mind to face obstacles in the industry.
As an entrepreneur, I think you have to be in tune with your market, and ideally you have to see what's coming next, so you take the necessary steps to grow your business or reduce your business according to those circumstances.